The Flash is reborn, and so is our panel. Stay tuned for Season 4, Episode 1.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Strobe lights, yes. All right, of course we had to start with Poker Face because it's a good luck song for It's Good Luck, so why wouldn't we do that? Hello, amazing AfterBuzzers, and welcome back to the Flash After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. We are so excited to be back. I have been on pins and needles waiting for this episode because I just needed to know how long they were going to keep Barry in the Speed Force, and clearly not very long, which I should have known. I am Tiona Hobson, and joining me, I've got some lovely new faces for you guys. I will let them introduce themselves.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Drew Jones. You can check me out at OKDrewJ.
Hey, I'm Chauncey Robinson, and you can check me out at Miss Chauncey KR on Twitter.
And I know you guys are wondering where our old panel has gone, and unfortunately, due to some scheduling conflicts, they can't make it this season, but they will hopefully get to pop in, and we've got some awesome replacements, guys. This is going to be an awesome panel, and don't worry, we do have people who know the comic books, because y'all know I don't know nothing about it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to be asking the questions, they're going to be answering it, and of course, you guys at home tuning in. So let's dive in, because this has been, I mean, initial reactions to this episode.
Awesome.
Yeah, just like a lot, just overwhelmed.
Iris West, killing it.
Yes, I love Iris West killing it.
Boss.
So it's been 6 months
Yes.
since the whole Savitar debacle. Yeah, that was just a debacle. We're not going to talk about it. I just rewatched the finale from last season tonight, and I was like, really, guys? Okay,
So
anyways,
sad.
moving forward. So we have Iris, who is taken up running the team. She's at the helm.
Yes.
She literally took Barry's words seriously and has not stopped running, has not looked back. She's just focused on getting the job done. What do you guys think about her running the team and her sassy new short haircut?
I love the short haircut.
I love. It's like she's on like some Michelle Obama like short bob, and I was like, okay, girl, I see you. But no, I love that she's like head of the team, just because I think we've seen like that potential in her like for so many seasons, and so I'm like hyped that she's finally like. She's not just like a love interest or like the damsel, like she's like taking control.
They've given her a purpose.
Yeah, she's gotten some agency. I mean, just the fact that she's like heading things up. She knows she wants them to stop playing so much, things of that nature, which, you know, show a little bit of, you know, her masking things, but just being the boss person that she is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great because no one believed that she was even still working at that newspaper.
Yeah.
You know, she has never went to work and never
write a story, y'all.
never
She
write
did a
stories or
byline.
anything. So it was great to see her kind of running the team and keeping the boys in line, because without Caitlin there to do it, you know, and Cisco actually being out in the field, which finally.
Yes.
You know, leaving the desk, they needed someone to step in, and it only made sense that Iris would be the one.
Yeah.
And then speaking of Cisco, aka Vibe, he is out there vibing and fighting crime with Kid Flash.
I love that he's being like, I love that it's not just like this, oh, we really need backup, so I guess Vibe's gonna have to hop, like that he's like an actual like superhero now.
Yeah.
Like, doing real.
It kind of harkens back to like the previous season where there was like hints of you don't know how strong you are.
Yeah.
And we're seeing like, you know, Vibe can be a strong. He's a force to be reckoned with too. He's not just like the comedic relief or anything.
Yeah. And he really seems to have it under control right now. I don't want to like.
I mean, he does need to work out a little bit more because, you know, he's
don't
a
we
little...
all?
Yeah, don't we all? Like, I love that in the middle of all the chaos, Cisco still finds way to throw in his little jokes everywhere. You know, it's like, oh, man, I got to work out. It's like you're jumping through, like, portals. Like, what do you need to work out for? You're just jumping through. You're not running like, you know, Wally is or anything.
Yeah.
But, you know, as great as they are together, one, they can't decide on their team name.
Nope.
So
Team Kid Flash,
Flash,
which nobody likes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
no
too
one
long.
liked it.
I kind of like it.
You did.
There's
Team-
always one.
There's always one.
There's always one. But, you know, their numbers aren't really as great as before because, I mean, they're out there, and yes, you have Kid Flash who can run and do all the things that Barry can do. It's just missing that element of the actual Flash.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the way that Barry's mind works as well, because when you're as smart as him and then it's all running through. I think,
Yeah.
and I mean, Barry did not start off perfect.
No.
And they've only been at this for 6 months, so who knows in 6 more months what, would have been being done there.
There was a way that he kind of brought everyone together, too. Like, he could see everyone's strength and why they were a team. And he always was the one to reminding people why they were the team, why they're a family.
Yeah.
So we were kind of missing that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And I love that we got to see Peekaboo again.
Yes.
Yeah. That was fun.
I was surprised. It was like, oh, Peekaboo.
Yeah, and then I was looking up, I was like, man, when was the last... That was like season 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was
so that was
time ago.
a serious throwback there. So, for people who might not have remembered, that was Peekaboo. You have seen her before.
Yeah.
And she did get released from the Snart.
She was one of the villains I really liked. I don't really know why. I just was like, I like her.
I like her. Yeah, so I mean, they were able to finally capture her after a couple incidents there with her outsmarting them.
I like how they dropped a little, kind of off topic, but I like how they dropped a little, like, oh, Julian's in London.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, really?
It's like,
okay.
They addressed
That
it,
was
like,
their explanation.
Once Julian left for London, I was like, oh.
Which,
no Julian.
I mean, I was wondering what was going to happen there, if he was going to come back or not. And as people who watched the show last season know, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I was definitely looking forward to having him back on the show. He's actually the reason that I caught up on the show and started watching it last year. So
I was like stalking his Instagram. I mean, like, I do that all the time, but particularly just because I was like, he wasn't like on set or anything with him. He's like in Venice and like whatever. And I was like, oh, I guess you're not coming
Which is
back.
it's a little bit of a bummer though, right? Because towards the end he sort of became part. I was kind of, skeptical. I was like, how's he gonna fit in? The guys,
But it's interesting because the way that they set it up, it leaves the door open for somewhere this season him to pop back in.
Yeah. And I think he's going to, which we can get into later, but there's a reason I think he's going to come back.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, there's no hope for him and Caitlin right now, but Joe and Cecile seem to be going at it strong still.
Yeah, I ship it.
I want all good things for Joe.
Jocille?
Josie, ooh.
Oh,
I kind of like
you
that.
just made a ship name.
Boom, there you go. You're
there
welcome.
It is. Hashtag.
Yeah, they're moving in together. She got him going to church with her.
Right.
Like, this is...
That's serious. When he got you going to church.
Right? I mean, I love that their relationship is still blooming and blossoming. I do want her to... I feel like she's now the new sort of Iris who kind of gets thrown into stuff, but what are you doing? I want her to be more involved, I guess, in everything. And I need her to be, like, the team player who's, like, here with them. And we get little flashes of her, but I would like to see more of them.
But I also want, just because I feel like Joe's always going through it, I just want him to have, like, I just want him to have, like, this one nice thing,
Yeah.
But can't have, it's a CW, we can't have nice things.
We can't have nice things. And then, of course, we find out later that Caitlin has been bartending. And we are going to talk, we have a whole segment planned to talk about Caitlin, so I don't want to go too into her right now. But let's talk about what else happens this episode. So, after they defeat Peekaboo, the next villain has to appear in the city because when you live in a town with superheroes, they just always pop up. Mm-hmm. And it's a samurai. And he just wants the Flash. Give me the Flash or the city will crumble.
Yeah.
Is, I think, what he said. Or fall, something like that.
Can we give a shout out how Wally knew Japanese?
Yeah.
It was just like, does anyone know Japanese? And he just starts talking
I was like,
a man of many talents. Kid Flash.
Kid Flash. It's like, okay, Kid Flash, like, I see you're
He was a little neglected, He was even saying it. He's like, there's more than one superhero in this town, guys. I'm a speedster, too.
I speak Japanese.
Right? And I speak Japanese.
Yeah, he must have read the book.
Probably.
Really fast and learned it all. But, I mean, that was a very convenient skill to have at this moment. And I mean, they want the Flash, and they're like, well, you're not going to get him. You have 24 hours to get us the Flash, which then leads to a whole rabbit hole effect of, we find out that Cisco has been working with Felicity, Tracy Brand, Harry, like all these people to put together a way to get Barry out of the Speed Force.
Yes.
How do we feel about taking Barry out of the Speed Force? He went in there for a reason.
For the sake of it being the Flash, I knew that he's gonna get out, like, eventually, you know?
Yes.
But I was a little surprised that they were trying to do it this early in the season, I guess. I don't know. And also, I don't know. It was just a lot to take in. I thought we were going to get a couple episodes of, like, the new team and, like...
Yeah, and them going through
and maybe
it.
see him in the Speed Force and what he's going through.
I wanted
to
know what's going on in there.
It was a mixed bag for me. Like, part of me was excited that they were going to get him back so soon, but another part of me was like, okay, but they built this up so much in the end of season 3 that he had to go. So what, is there going to be any ramifications of this? Like, we just going to get him back and it's cool now?
My thought is the Speed Force is always the ones like, Barry, you messed up. You have to pay for this.
Yeah.
And so are they going to be so willy-nilly to just let him escape and no ramifications will come afterwards?
I guess I was wondering, did he really serve, like, it was 6 months for them in Central City, but then Caitlin had alluded to the fact that it might have been like 10,000 years for him. So did he somehow serve his time like way longer, like Buffy, like Angel in Hell of Buffy or something?
Based on, you know, the whole beautiful mind thing that was happening when he came out and the drawings and his erratic sayings,
Spoken
which I know
word.
you guys have some Easter eggs, but based on what you guys were telling me before this, it sounds like he might have seen throughout like the entire lifespan.
Yeah.
So I do think that for him it felt longer, because even last season when Wally was in there for a couple months or weeks, even he had similar effects of like, oh, it felt longer kind of thing.
Yeah.
The thing I was most mad about is at the season finale, the Speed Force was like, oh, don't worry, he's not going to be put through hell like the other ones were. He needs to go rest. And then he comes out talking in gibberish.
Yeah,
And
it's like, did he rest?
I'm like, did y'all give the runner his rest like you promised?
Yeah.
He came out naked and with a beard. It was like, okay.
It's very Terminator-esque.
Yeah.
I think that was a callback to Terminator. I really felt it.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about some of those Easter eggs in his rambling? Yeah.
Well, just one that got me really excited was the allusion to the diapers. That was, to me, I thought he was alluding to Flash twins, which is in the comics, you know, Iris has twins and they are they're speedsters too. So he was like, you know, one of his things was, we're going to need more diapers. And I was like, that's Flash twins right there. I'm like, Iris about to get knocked up maybe. I don't know. But I'd be excited about that too. So I would not be against that.
Yes.
For it.
And if you guys in the chat caught on to anything else that, you know, Barry was saying, he'd said a lot of things and he got very Dr. Seussy. With it all, you know, rhyming everything.
Yeah.
So let us know what you guys picked up on, because we might not have picked up on everything.
Yeah, one thing was like the stars melting. Like, what was that? I couldn't think of it off the top of my head.
He said the stars are melting. He also said that the stars were crying.
Yeah.
He said that I'm not like you, Oliver. There was which was the second Arrow reference in the episode.
Yeah.
And I was like,
there were a lot.
Yeah, but I do remember him having a conversation with Oliver in a previous season where he said something along the lines.
Yeah,
Like,
some
I'm
of
not
them
like-
were past.
Yeah, I felt like it was like he was going through his whole, because like he referenced his mother's murder, and so it seemed to me like it was like from very early childhood memories, and then it was like going through.
yeah, because he kept saying, I was there. There was another man there,
Yeah.
which is what he was saying when his dad was. They said the star is loud. So yeah, it's like something with the stars, and I don't believe that he doesn't remember everything that he was saying, and I do think it'll come back.
Yeah, there's something.
It will come back.
No, and Barry, he probably didn't. He wanted to spare everyone's feelings or something.
Probably, but like Barry, come on. So he's back and he's all beautiful mindsy, and no one really knows what's going on. It could be that dementia set on, or it could be Phasia? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really good at medical terms, guys. in case you didn't know. So like they're trying to figure it out. Oh yeah, and he said that this house is bitchin', which
I was wondering that too.
or like when they finally translated the symbols, that's what Cisco.
I'm saying that all the time
That's
now.
the tagline.
Walk into a house. This house is bitchin'.
This house is bitchin'. Just how's that episode? That episode was bitchin'.
I haven't heard that term in a long time.
It was like a 90s setup or something. But, you know, finally what ends up bringing him back, as always, is Iris.
Always.
After she has to have a little pep talk from her dad about keeping the faith,
Yeah.
which I love that the strength means nothing without faith.
Yeah.
That was very strong and powerful, and of course it gave her the idea to, how do you just walk through a complete police barricade unharmed, like no one's running after her, no one's telling her to stop. By the time they see that she's there, she's in front of the samurai.
Let me
Power
tell
of
you something.
Iris West.
Iris, I don't like. I feel like everyone naturally has that sense of like danger. Like, you know, you're walking down the street, you're like, oh, I should, you know, keep my peripherals going, make sure no one's walking up on me. I don't think Iris has that. Like Iris is just like, this makes sense to me. I'm gonna do it. It's cool. It's fine. Just gonna walk.
And I feel like, you know, she's been living in this way of like not letting her past catch up to her, like, you know, there's been ice around her heart for the past 6 months, so she's thinking like, I'm just gonna do because this is what Barry would do.
Yeah.
You know, Barry doesn't always think before he acts, he just acts and trusts and has the faith that it will be okay. And luckily for her, within 3 seconds, Barry all of a sudden is like,
Sparkle
ding.
in his eye.
I love that. I honestly did. I was giddy. I was like, of course. Of course.
Of course. I mean, I will say that it felt like a Harry Potter reference when she was like, you found me, you came back to me. He's like, always. That's so Harry Potter, guys. Just in case.
Snape.
Yes. So, you know, he chases around the samurai. We find out that it's actually a robot. Which, Samuroids. Which
I like that.
I have my little Wikia page here, and thank you, Tari, for sending it to me on Twitter. Just to tell us a little bit about them. Baron Katana built this army of robotic samurai warriors back as revenge after World War II. So it seems like, you know, it was a nice callback to this sort of reference. I don't know if we'll see more of them. I doubt it, because the Thinker is supposed to be the big bad.
Yeah,
but
he's big bad.
Yeah, but since, you know, it was the Thinker who sent them, you know, maybe he has more lying around. You never know. But
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool little, you know.
Well, they had a second one in there with them with the Thinker, because the other one was taken apart at Star Labs. So I think we'd possibly
Might
see
see
it again.
an army.
Maybe
of
that's
them.
like one of his. Maybe that's one of the Thinker's like minions. Maybe that's going to be his minions.
Yeah.
For this season, getting samurais a lot.
Yeah.
And there was actually in that when Wally went against the Samuroi or whatever, there was a point when he moved this, got him with the sword. When he got Wally with the sword, that was like exactly from one of the comics as well, which was really cool.
When that happened, all I could think was, man, this has got to be so embarrassing for him. Like, not only did you come out here thinking you were going to, like, trick this guy into thinking you're the Flash, but he immediately was like, you're not the Flash, and then lifted you up by almost, like, it was like a bully getting picked up by the underwear.
Thing.
Yeah, like the wedgie thing.
Got a wedgie.
With the sword. It's like, man.
He got a metahuman wedgie.
Yeah, I was like, dang, Wally, like, I feel sorry for you, man.
Yeah, they weren't letting him have his shine in this episode.
They were like, you know what? Season 3, episode 1, we let Kid Flash shine.
No, yeah,
so
he was doing his
episode
thing.
1 this year, we're not gonna let him shine too
Keeping
hard.
him humble, you know?
Yeah, because he did get big-headed in that episode.
He did.
One of the other things that happened during this whole Beautiful Mind things, it was a beautiful scene with Joe shaving Barry when he was in the cell. That was just, it just broke my heart to see this guy who, you know, they're like, what's going on, trying to figure it out. He's trying to connect with his son who he never thought he was going to see again. And here he is just like shaving him and, you know, having a little heart to heart.
I would have loved if he started singing like, I'll cover you for a minute.
That would have been awesome.
Actually, no, I would have been sobbing, but that would have just been like a cherry on the
Well, that's
top
one of
for
the things
me.
about the Flash episode. It's a good episode when one of the characters is crying a little bit. I feel
Yeah.
like if someone's not crying, it's not a Flash episode.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
The tears
of love.
Oh. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Caitlin.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. So Cisco goes to find her when he's like, yo, I need one more thing to, you know, complete this to get Barry back. And it's Caitlin. And he finds her at a dive bar. And one of the first things he says is that, oh crap, I wrote it down. Just that, you know, who are you? Last time I saw you, you said you weren't Killer Frost and you also weren't Caitlin. So where are you? She's like, it's just me, it's just Caitlin now. And he's like, well, how'd you do it? She never answered that question.
She sure
so
did.
from the start, I'm like, okay, clearly she's still got some Killer Frost going on in her. And I'm like, and then there's this creepy guy who's like all up in Cisco's face with, you know,
with a
weird eye.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is going on? What has she gotten herself into? And then, I mean, at the end, she goes and tells them that she tell Amunet.
Yeah, Amunet.
That I'm out. And I'm like, who's that?
Where's Amunet?
But there's something definitely going on here, and you can see it's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation.
Yeah, that's what it's turned into, it seems. I don't know. I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, well, you know, I think it's an interesting plot line a little bit, but I do think when is she going to get to the point where either she can control it or she can't? You know, like, where are we going with this? This has been going on for this is going to be a second season.
Yeah. I knew not to trust her though as soon as we saw her because I was like, she's wearing a choker. She's got this whole
This choker.
I was like, this is not.
Like she's
You got
wearing
new
jeans. This
yeah,
is not
I was like,
Caitlin.
yeah, like, why
jeans,
is she
what?
working in a bar? I was like, this is so, what is this?
And not just any bar. She's in like this like hole in the wall. There's like
Dive
biker.
bar.
Yeah, I'm like,
And I mean,
sus.
when I saw her, I was already a suspect. And then when Barry was running around the room super fast, and she comes out of nowhere with the bazooka gun, and like, who else did you expect? I was like, not you to be picking up a gun, Caitlin. Not you right now. That's who I wasn't expecting. So what's going on, boo?
Yeah, she's real shady right now. I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, and I also looked up Amunet to give us a little refresher here. Amunet Black. For 15 years, she runs the Network, which is an underground black market in Central and Keystone City. Where, you know, villains buy and sell and move contraband and all that stuff. She started her own little group of rogues, which included Mirror Master, who we've seen, Weather Wizard, Magenta, Trickster, who we've seen as well. So I would love to see more of sort of what's going on there, because it didn't seem like you could just get out that easy.
Yeah.
Because according to this, it says that if they decided they wanted to go clean, she like erased their memories or something to make sure they didn't remember what was happening.
I'm wondering if we're gonna get to see Julian, because I feel like Killer Frost is gonna go out of control, and I feel like Julian is maybe gonna be a key to helping that. But also, maybe it's just me. I feel like this Cisco Caitlin thing, in the beginning, I was like, oh, this is like a cute friendship. But
no, that's romantic now.
I was going to say, I feel as the seasons go on, they like allude to more and more
like, what? Say
like flirtation. I don't know.
What y'all been drinking?
No.
Can I have some?
I was drinking Sprite earlier.
I saw it. There was a moment when he was like, and they were looking and he was like, I've missed you. And I was like, oh.
I'm all for boy and girl friendships just being friendships. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, Cisco is in a committed relationship with Gypsy.
So from what I'm hearing, the father's gonna come soon or something.
Yeah, Gypsy's dad's coming in, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
But nothing can just be simple on the Flash. I feel like there's bound to be complications. No one can just be happy and in a relationship. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd be mad at. I like the Gypsy Cisco.
You know who's playing Gypsy's dad?
Yes.
Danny Trejo.
Yes.
So you know Cisco can't be messing around. Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate and I hear what you guys are saying about this, and I appreciate you and understand. But I disagree.
So you don't think it's gonna happen?
I don't see a Cisco Caitlin thing.
I just feel like CW has a tendency of like
being incestuous with the
just mushing people together, even if you don't want it. They're like, you know what? There it comes around.
This works.
Yeah, but I just love him with Gypsy.
No, I do too. I want the Gypsy.
I could see where things could get blurred between them, but I don't think it would move romantic, because I think Cisco's just saying like, hey, you know, it used to be just the two of them, and it was like them who were the, you know, power duo.
That's true.
And he lost her and Barry at the same time. So he lost both of his best friends at the same moment, and he's sad.
Well, for Caitlin, I think it'll also be. I mean, each season that we've had, she's had a love interest, right? Yeah. So I think maybe if we're not leaning towards that, then maybe they'll let her be just, you know, exploring who she is this season, which would be interesting. I think, you know, maybe her finally getting the Killer Frost thing under control or not. I guess we'll see where that goes. So she doesn't need a love interest. It's fine.
I'm now just standing on the line between they're not and they are. Like, I'm just like Switzerland now. You've convinced me to like take a step over.
Baby steps. I'll get you there. We got
Next episode.
We got 22 more episodes to get you over this line, and it's gonna happen. So then at the end of the episode, we of course see the reveal of the Thinker, and
his big old space egg.
His big old space egg, which he's clearly in the future because they're looking back and like everything's back on track. The Flash is here, and his little assistant lady, and he's like, "I'm thinking."
Yeah.
I'm like,
word.
Got it. I actually got that one, guys.
Yeah. I was like, the Thinker.
I was like, the Thinker. I get it. So yeah, that's where the episode ends, and it's kind of one of those places of like, why did you need Barry back here?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Why bring him back if like you're the big bad? Why would you want the Flash to be back in Central City?
And like we already played around with the future last season, so has he been thinking of this? Did he see everything that happened last season? This is also leading us into our predictions, so maybe we should just like hop, skip, and jump over there.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't predict that.
You didn't predict that? I did.
Oh, it's
Sorry,
like,
you were scared.
So because we were talking about the twins thing, I think it has something to do with the twins. I think that the Thinker maybe he knows something about the twins that we don't. If we're gonna take that little Easter egg, I think that has something to do with that, and that's why he would need Barry back
In order
because he need a daddy.
conceive those twins.
He need a baby daddy, yeah.
Okay, so you're thinking he wants to use the twins in some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see that. Going after their kids. That's a really long game plan that he's got there. But he as the Thinker, he knows
a lot.
A lot of things.
He looked a little sickly, so maybe his main thing is his thinking and things of that nature. So I don't know. I mean, with where this could go, are we just talking about like where it can go with the Thinker or like in general?
In general.
I mean, I think we'll see with Caitlin. I feel like whether or not she's gonna be able to control things, and I don't know. I felt like we got to see layers of Iris's kind of conflict of not wanting to be hurt about Barry being back, but when he sped off, she seemed happy, but it's also this question of it's been 6 months. Like, what has she gone through? Like, is that going to be an issue for her that she was in charge and now she, now Barry's back? So we've heard from the executive producers that there may be a little bit of conflict in that regard of the power structure that's going on with them. So I'm interested to see that. But in the bigger scale of things, it's kind of like why bring Barry back from the Speed Force? And is there going to still be consequences from the Speed Force? Like, I mean, how does he just get to come back? Like, did he serve his time? What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, those are all great questions. And going with, like, the Barry and Iris thing, she, now that he's back, she's still taking kind of control of leading this team.
Yeah.
So what will happen there? And, I had another prediction. And we know that the big DC crossover that's coming in November.
Four-way crossover.
They have said it does involve a West Allen wedding. So by November we got to get them back on track. But will it actually happen? Something clearly is going to go wrong.
Something always goes wrong.
Something always goes wrong. So
also, I read an interview with Keenan Lonsdale saying kind of like, he didn't flat out say, but he's kind of like alluding to that, like, maybe there's going to be some iffy stuff going on with Kid Flash, like, and I'm very interested to see what's going on there. And I think we saw, like, in this episode, like, him kind of feeling, like, incompetent, and I wonder if, like, that insecurity is going to play into him,
I hope
messing around this season.
I hope not, just because I feel like it's something that we've seen from Wally's character before.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back down that road, but it would be interesting. But I just thought of a scene I want to see in the DC crossover is, like, if their wedding is happening, then that means, like, everyone's gathered for their wedding.
Yeah.
Like, we got Ollie. And
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, we got Oliver and Felicity and Supergirl coming over for the wedding. And then all hell breaks loose.
Yes, exactly.
I'm here for it.
I did see a still of like them dressed in black or something like that, and people were trying to allude of whether or not there was going to be a funeral. You know,
Wedding and a funeral.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we have heard from the executive producers too that this season is going to be a lot more lighthearted. You know, because season 3 got real dark. And we're not, I mean, I wasn't used to that from season 1 and 2. It was always, you know, the stakes were high, but it was very much this, I don't want to say a family show, but it was very much this idea of the heart and the friendships and stuff. So
it was light and friendly.
Yeah.
And I loved Cisco's jokes. I hated emo Cisco last season. So I'm happy that we're back.
I was so mad at Cisco during the last season. I was like, why?
Yeah, I'm glad we're back in a happy space for everyone.
I was like, I get it, but like, I need those one-liners, man.
See, I needed y'all here last year because I was the only one who felt that way on the panel last year. I was getting looks like you're crazy. He lost his brother, let him grieve, and I was it's been long enough.
I like that he's way more energetic. Like he went back into the whole thing of Barry's my best friend, which I missed last season because we lost that for a little bit. And I was just like, no, the heart of Flash is these relationships, right? And that's what we saw this episode where it was like, hey, you're my best friend Joe. Like, hey, son, you know, hey, Iris, I love you, Barry. You know, we saw that reinforcement of the relationships, which was, I think, needed for the reborn. You know, as Cisco called Barry Speedy Jesus. I was like, I dig it.
I dig it, and I think that, I mean, all in all, this was a great premiere, and it set a great tone for the rest of the season. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And I mean, unless you guys have anything else you want to add, I think we did that.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did that.
And they did it.
And y'all did it. And we did it. And everyone did it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let them know where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, just all the things, at OKDrewJ.
You can find me on Twitter at Miss Chauncey KR and all up in that Iris West Defense Squad tag.
And you can find me at the Tiona Hobson, and make sure you guys check out all the shows we have on AfterBuzz TV. We bring you so much content, and we have multiple YouTube channels now for everything that you're going to want to check out. So make sure you guys go there. Go on YouTube, please, like, comment. Go on iTunes, like, comment there as well. Let us know what you guys think is going to happen this season, and tell us how pretty we are. And I love that you both smiled at the end of that. Thank you so much, and we'll be back next week at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.